Episode of the Love and Light Show, where your special guest is Cindy Troast, and she is going to show us how we can use the law of attraction in our day-to-day life, how we can actually have 3 simple steps to do it and make sure that we can incorporate it easily into our life. She's going to tell us more about her story and actually walk us through an exercise to get clarity so we can actually manifest things easier with that clarity that we need to move forward. So I'm so excited for today's episode. And if you're not familiar with the Love and Light Show, we bring special guests to you, light workers, coaches, healers that will support you on your journey so that you can learn about new healing methods and modalities, cool tips and tricks and exercises that support you on your healing journey so that you can be the change you wish to see in the world. You can move forward and shine your light brightly so we can all raise the vibration of the planet together and just be wonderful and amazing people. And if you're joining us live, let us know in the comments. We're on the Be Live platform, so we have to actually see a comment from you to see when you pop on live. And even if you're catching the replay, we'd love to hear from you, see where you're at in the world, how you're doing. So always feel free to talk to us after the show as well. And I'm Laura McPhee. I'm a happiness coach and healer, and I love to empower women to get to their dream happy lives so that they can let go of all their stress and worry and overwhelm, stop being people pleasers and perfectionists or workaholics and putting everyone else first and sacrificing themselves all the time, so that they can actually move forward with more self-love and care in their life and actually achieve their dream happy life consistently, where they do feel happy and healthy and fulfilled and loved and peaceful. And one of the amazing ways I love to do that is by adding self-love and care into people's lives. So I just finished a 5-day challenge, and I'm deciding to extend it to all those people who are like, I really need help and support and accountability in this area, and I want to grow this aspect of my life, so that I can look at myself in the mirror and love myself, like unconditionally love myself and feel that love to be able to consistently have those healthy habits in your life. I'm going to do a 7-week program. So that'll start May 3rd, and I'm so excited about that. If that's resonating with you, reach out to me and we'll see if you're a good fit for the program, because it's going to be only women. We're going to be creating this like nurturing container of transformation during these 7 weeks to really support you. So I want to make sure everyone's really resonating with each other during that group. We have wonderful people coming online. Hi, Robin. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And Natasha here, President of Canada. And I don't want to mess up your name. Sharath. Hi, Sharath here. If I'm saying that wrong, please say this, and then I'll know how to say your name correctly. I hate not being able to pronounce people's names, but I love to learn new things. So definitely let me know how to say your name correctly. And Cindy is so amazing. How are you doing today, Cindy?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so excited to have you on. And you're a certified emotional code practitioner, law of attraction trainer, and you love helping women entrepreneurs attract and find their ideal clients in their business. So I'm so excited to resonate so well with my tribe and all the other wonderful people who are out here doing amazing work in the world. I'm so excited to learn more about your story and all the different things you're bringing to the table. So do you want to share with the audience all the wonderful things you've been up to?
Sure, I can absolutely share a bit of my story. I'd be happy to do that, and thank you for that opportunity. You're right, I am an emotion code practitioner, and I'm a law of attraction trainer. I do work primarily with women entrepreneurs. And, I've been using the law of attraction forever. I mean, long before it was ever called the law of attraction. But a couple of years ago, I really got the opportunity to step up and use the law of attraction and the emotion code together when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that was quite a shock, as you might imagine. You never expect to be diagnosed with something like that. But I got the diagnosis. I left my doctor's office. I went out to the parking lot and I sat in my car for 30 minutes and I just cried. I mean, I just cried my eyes out. Obviously, I was really upset and really shocked and wasn't sure what was going to happen. But because I'm so into the law of attraction, after 30 minutes of that, I'm like, okay, I need to stop this right now. I need to change my mindset. And I'm going to go through this experience in a law of attraction way. I'm going to make this the best experience that I can make it. So I decided on a mantra, and my mantra was, this is going to be easy.
I love that.
And that's not what you normally think when someone tells you that you have breast cancer.
Exactly.
Yeah. In fact, it's the opposite. You know, the doctor tells you it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be a long, drawn out thing. And, you know, I just didn't want any of that. So one of the principles about law of attraction that we'll talk about in a bit is getting clear on what you want. So I decided right then and there, I want this to be easy, and it's going to be easy. And it's, you know, it sounds kind of funny to say it, but it really was. I had a very positive experience going through breast cancer.
That's amazing.
And here I am, 2 years later, cancer free, and doing great.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Oh, and yes, correct. So yay, I did say the name right. Thank you for affirming that. So how do you encourage your people to include law of attraction in their life?
Yeah, you know, there's so many things that you can do to kind of live that law of attraction life and have a law of attraction mindset. And certainly the first thing is to get clarity, because if you're not clear about what you want, you're not going to get a clear result. So it's like when you say you want more money in your life, and then in your next sentence you say, but you know, I really don't deserve it. Or you want something really nice, and then you say, I can't afford it. It's that back and forth that causes you to not get a good result, or at best to get a very wishy-washy kind of result. Exactly. So when you're wanting to use the law of attraction, clarity is key. So as a business owner, you and I need to be really clear about who do we want to work with? Who are the clients that are ideal for us? What are their ideal characteristics? And that's really the first step to attracting more of what you want. So once you do that, once you get clear, the next step is to give what you want a lot of attention. So again, there's many ways you can do that, and all kinds of fun ways. If you're a visual person, kind of a crafty, arts and crafty kind of person, you can do vision boards.
I do vision boards.
I know, me too.
I love them.
Yeah, me too. And you can have more than one. You know, if you have a couple different goals, you know, you can have more than one vision board. But, you know, you can certainly put them up on your wall in your house, or you can go online. There are online tools to do vision boards with. But that's a great way, if you're a visual person, to really keep your desire and your intention right literally in front of your face. But there are also a lot of other ways too. You can talk about what you want. You know, when I was going through my breast cancer experience, before I went to any procedure, any test, met with any kind of medical professional, I said my mantra. I said, this is going to be easy. Whatever the test is, whatever the procedure is, this is going to be easy. And then as I went through it, in my head, I was thinking about what are all the things that are happening right now that are making this situation easy for me. So you can easily translate that into business too, by noticing how close you're getting to your perfect client. I call that celebrating the closeness of the match. So let's say you decide to write down the top 10 characteristics of your ideal client, and you post that somewhere. You know, you look at it every day. You're kind of out and about on the lookout for people who are have those characteristics. And let's say you meet someone with 5 out of the 10 characteristics. Well, the person who's not living according to law of attraction might say to themselves, oh man, that was not the good client for me. They only, had a few of the things I wanted. That's not who I want. I'm no good at this. This isn't going to work out. And so, what do you attract? You attract negativity. But the opposite of that is, if you're living more of a law of attraction lifestyle, you get excited. You're like, wow, today I met someone that had 5 of my top 10 characteristics. I am an awesome manifester. I'm so close to my ideal client. You just go on a rampage of positivity about how close the match was. So that's a really good way to give what you want attention. And then
so much.
Yeah, yeah, and you just get excited. Your vibe goes higher and higher. Yeah, and you start attracting more and more of those ideal clients.
Mm-hmm.
And the third step is to allow what you want to come to you. And that can be a challenge for some people. And I think allowing is probably the least taught and maybe even the least understood part of the law of attraction, because sometimes we get the idea that, well, we just have to think positive and everything is going to come to us. And obviously you want to think positive. I mean, that's key, but there's a little more to it than that. And that's really where my training as an emotion code practitioner comes in, because you know, if you have your vision board and your positive affirmations and you're doing all these things, you're being as positive as you can be, but you have internal emotional blocks that are kind of telling you you don't deserve this or you're not good enough, then that just makes it harder to attract what you want. So in the allowing piece, I use the emotion code to help my clients release their emotional blocks so that they actually can feel that they deserve what they want and they can more easily attract what they want when those emotional blocks and that emotional baggage is taken away.
I love that. And can you explain a little bit more what the emotion code is that people understand?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The emotion code is a type of energy healing, and it was developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. I actually have his book here. He wrote a book called The Emotion Code. So, you know, if you're interested in the emotion code, it's a great book. I highly recommend it. It explains all about the emotion code. So basically, the emotion code is a type of energy healing. And the idea is that as we go through our life, we experience negative events. You know, we're human beings. Good things are going to happen to us, but also negative things can happen to us. And when we go through a negative experience, if we don't fully process out the negative emotions, they can get trapped inside of us in our physical and energetic body, and they cause an imbalance. It's, if you want to think about it like a little, you know, fist-sized ball of energy stuck in you, and that causes an imbalance in your body. And so that imbalance can lead to emotional blocks, it can lead to physical pain, it can even lead to disease. So the emotion code healing method is a way to, it's actually a way where I work with you one-on-one or in a group, and I do it all virtually. I do it online, so we don't even have to be in the same room. I know, I love that.
Yes.
So I tap into your subconscious using muscle testing. I ask your subconscious mind if you have trapped emotions that we can release. And typically I'll get a yes that you do have trapped emotions. Yep, because most of us do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when I identify the trapped emotion, then I release it, and you as the client, usually immediately you'll feel lighter, like a weight has been lifted off of you, because in reality it has been. The weight and the burden of those trapped emotions just gets lifted. And then you start to feel more powerful. You start to feel more positive. Whatever the issue was that we're working on, you'll start to see that it's not so much of an issue anymore. So, you know, if you're wanting to attract ideal clients, you'll see that they start showing up. So, yeah, that's really how the emotion code and the law of attraction just, you know, work hand in hand together to create this fantastic energy. And I just love it. And the thing is about the emotion code, it's really fast. You know, you can have a few sessions and you'll see results after each session. And I love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that you do muscle testing, because I do it too. And it's so fascinating to see when people like learn how to muscle test or see what that is. They're like kind of awe in all the things that were just beneath the surface, because we don't understand what's in our subconscious, what we've trapped or suppressed in our bodies. So just bringing that across to people is such a gift, because otherwise they're walking around with that heaviness, with that pressure, and they're just like feeling like that's normal. And everyone else around them is in the same pattern, their same paradigm of limiting beliefs. So they're all in that negative energy all the time. So they just think it's normal instead of being like, I just choose to let go of it and raise my vibration over and over and over again.
Exactly. Yeah, that is so true. And you can really get stuck in that paradigm and get stuck in that energy of the people around you. And that's definitely something I teach when I'm working with clients, both in the law of attraction and the emotion code, is you really have to be mindful of that and not allow yourself to get dragged down. If you do happen to have a friend or a family member or a business colleague who's just kind of on that negative side, I always say mind your own vibration, which means pay attention to what you're feeling. You know, don't just automatically kind of get sucked into what that other person is feeling and saying. Mind your own vibration. And if you're feeling like, oh gosh, you know, I'm getting kind of dragged down here, then do what you need to do to bring your vibration back up again, because it's all about what you vibe. You know, you attract what you vibe. So if you're in a low vibration, you're going to attract things you probably don't really want.
I completely agree. And it's interesting because when I was in the corporate world, I'd have assholes in my life, and it was just like, well, some assholes around and stuff like that. And when I decided I wanted to be a healer and a coach and shift and change to be around positive people, I found a transitional job where they were like, there's no assholes allowed. Like, they were like, no asshole employees or clients. Like, we value and love each other and want this to be an amazing, nurturing environment. Because and they wanted to keep their people and keep their people local and happy instead of moving to a bigger city. So they wanted to make sure it was so loving and nurturing. And I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is it. Like, this is my declaration that I'm living without assholes. And then I haven't had it. And it's so interesting to hear people's limiting beliefs. Like, I just did a fair this weekend, and people were like, well, there's nothing you can do about it. And it's interesting. So I'm like, I don't live there anymore. And then someone else is talking about this big, like, infidelity thing in the news, and I'm like, I didn't see that at all. Like, I'm like, I'm in a different vibration where those things, I don't see it. It's not around. I'm like, this is so interesting. I love it. It's like, but it's baby steps over time, releasing all that junk that we had.
Absolutely. I'm 100% on board with baby steps. And I think that really helps people, because just like anything, you even when you are a baby and taking literal baby steps, you know, you don't go from being a baby crawling to running a marathon in a week. So I think as adults, we sometimes get caught up in like, oh my gosh, I have to be perfect. I have to do everything perfectly. I have to go from 0 to 100 in 24 hours. And it doesn't generally work that way. And you don't have to do that. And really, using the law of attraction, it's easy to baby step your way up, just by noticing the good things that are coming to you, because you notice how good you are at attracting, and then you start working on even bigger things that you can attract. So I love that you said that, because I think it's really important. And I think, in social media, people kind of sometimes feel bad or get intimidated. It looks like everybody is just doing so well and having such a great life. But really, you haven't seen all the baby steps it took them to get there. So I definitely encourage people to just take baby steps. If you're scared to do something, just take a small step forward, and the universe will reward that. You know, the next step will be revealed, and then take the next baby step, and then attract something else good into your life. And it just kind of compounds one on top of the other.
And I love that you explained it like that, because sometimes people want to see the million steps. Like, they're in their controlling mindset, their ego mind's telling them these negative things, and they want to see all the steps before they take that first leap or that first little baby step. And they're just like, well, I can't because I don't see it. And it's like, you have to actually activate that into the universe. You have to start raising your vibration and moving and creating that change in order to get that support. And when you do, like, the second you make that move, the universe comes in and supports you when you decide, and you're like, this is what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like, if you were going to take a trip, if you live in San Diego, California, and you wanted to go to Northern California, you wouldn't get in your car and say, well, I can't see Northern California from here, so I can't go. So, you would drive out of your neighborhood and then get on the road, that heads north, and you keep going north and look for the signs, and you'd be fine. And you can do that in your business too. You don't have to see the exact path to get to the end. And the beautiful thing that I love about law of attraction is it will reward you and it will give you what you need, and it will be totally unexpected ways. It will put people and circumstances and events in your path that you never in a million years could have planned out yourself.
I completely agree.
Oh yeah, no, it's so
miraculous.
cool.
It's so amazing.
It is. I love it when that happens. It's like, oh my gosh, I never could have imagined that I would get to my end result by doing this.
Yeah.
But it happens, and I just love that. It's so fun when those things happen.
I always tell my people, it's funny that I still have sometimes those tight grips where I'm like, I want to like make sure it happens this way, and then I like remember to release and let go. And the more I do that, the more I get positive confirmation over and over again that when I let go of what my negative little voice says or what my human mind says should be my path or should be the way it happens, when I let go of that and just surrender and be like, hey universe, okay, I'm like open for whatever, the highest, the best, all these things, it comes in way better than I could have ever imagined. Like support and people and like opportunities that if I'd been so tight and constricted, I would have never seen. If I hadn't been open to attracting all these amazing things, it wouldn't have come through. So I love law of attraction so much. That's awesome.
Especially because it comes so fast too. You know, I mean, we can, you know, there's nothing wrong with planning. There's nothing wrong with goal setting. I believe in doing that. But the law of attraction, if you're really using it well, if you might have 25 steps that you've mapped out that you need to take, and law of attraction will just cut out step 15 through 25 and just boom, you're there. So yeah, it's amazing.
Wonderful. And Sherry Lynn is so agreeing. So yes for baby steps.
Yeah.
Big yes. Oh, and earlier, happy for you for your breast cancer story.
Oh, thank you so much.
Happiness.
Yes.
So wonderful. If you want to explain the little exercise you're going to start walking us through?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's called clarity through contrast. And what that means is oftentimes when you ask people what they want, they're not very clear on what they want. But if you ask, well, what don't you like about this? Or what don't you want to happen? People can rattle off 100 things that they don't want. Right. And that's the contrast. What you don't want is contrast. So what I do is have you choose a topic, whether it's something in your business or your personal life, choose what it is you want to get clear on. And then what we do is focus on the contrast. So I gave you a little worksheet for this, but if you don't have the worksheet, no big deal. You can just, open a file on your computer, or you can just take a piece of paper and a pen and you just draw a line down the center of your page. And on the left side is contrast and on the right side is clarity. And you always start with the contrast first. So should we go ahead and do that for you right now?
That sounds good.
Okay.
I have my little sheet and draw my line, and you guys can grab your paper. If you're watching the replay, you can pause it and go make your line on your paper.
Yep, just down the center of the page. And on the left side, you write, on the top, on the left side, you write contrast. And right across from that, on the right side, you write clarity.
Awesome.
And so also at the top of the page above the two columns, you just write down what it is you're wanting to get clear on. So you wanted to get clear on a joint venture partner, I think, is what we talked about.
That'd be fun.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So everyone choose your topic. Take time for yourself. Get clarity on what you want. I really encourage you to participate so you'll get the most out of it. You'll get this law of attraction energy starting to roll in your life.
Absolutely. Because that's what you want.
Yeah.
So let's start with contrast. So tell me some of the things and write down some of the things that you would not want in a joint venture partner.
Not someone who's negative.
Ooh, that is so true. We don't want that. What else would you not want?
A liar or inauthentic.
Oh yeah, super important. What else?
Greedy or in their ego.
Yeah, that's not going to be helpful either. What else?
Competitive, like thinks it's me or you.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, it's a rising tide that raises everyone up together.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to have a partner, you definitely want them to be a good partner, not trying to put you down and them up. So yeah, perfect. What else would you not want in a joint venture partner?
No drama.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
A bad communicator.
Perfect. So what I encourage you to do, and those of our viewers watching too, is when you're working on your contrast is to make the largest list you possibly can. I mean, if you can have 100 items of contrast, that's fantastic. You know, take a little bit of time on this. You don't need to do it in 5 minutes, but really get the biggest contrast list you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you'll get more clarity. You know, if you have a whole lot of contrast, you're going to get a whole lot of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But since we don't have all day, so we'll go ahead and flip over to the clarity side. So let's just start with the number one you said was negative. So instead of the person being negative, what do you want them to be?
Positive and happy and high vibe.
Cool. So write that on the clarity side.
Mm-hmm.
Positive, high vibe, and happy. We love those kind of people.
Yes.
So you definitely
live my world.
Exactly. I'm right there with you. So you definitely don't want them to be a liar. What do you want?
Super honest and open.
Perfect. All right. So we don't want them to be greedy and all ego driven. What do you want?
Really heart-centered and loving.
Oh yeah. Perfect. I love that heart-centered.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And instead of competitive?
Seeing the value in harmony and balance and lifting everyone up and sharing.
Yes. All right. And no drama. What do you want?
Peace.
Peace. Yes, absolutely. And no bad communicators. What do you want?
Assertive communicators. So there's open and honest dialogue that's easy to go back and forth with.
Perfect. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have our list. We've gotten everything that we want on our clarity side. Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, if you were doing this yourself, it would be a much longer list.
Yeah.
And so basically, you are finished with the contrast side. So just put a big X through that contrast side because you're all done with that.
No
we
more
don't want to focus on that. No more of that. So you have this list now of everything you want in a joint venture partner. Mm-hmm. So what you could do from here is you could just post your list, someplace where you would see it, put it on your phone, maybe make it a reminder, mm-hmm. and just have it pop up during the day where you can see, oh yeah, I want somebody that's high vibe. They need to be honest and open. I want them to be heart-centered. That's the kind of person I'm looking for. And you just remind the universe that that's the kind of person you're looking for as a joint venture partner. Mm-hmm. And then when you start to get people popping up that are talking about, hey, would you be interested in being a joint venture partner with me? Mm-hmm. You have your list. So you go back to your list and you talk to the person, you get to know them a little bit, mm-hmm. and then you look at your list and say, okay, how many items on my list are a match? Yep. And then you decide, is it enough of a match that you want to go forward? Mm-hmm. Or you're getting close, but maybe this isn't exactly the right person yet.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It's important to find the right fit. I 100% agree. Yeah. And to not be super attached to it, to like let go and be like, that's fine. They're the perfect match for their person. Like they'll find their fit and I'll find my fit. And there's no bad judgments or like right or wrong. It's just like different vibrations. People are at different stages all the time.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So basically you just keep your list with you. You keep your list kind of in the forefront of your mind, mm-hmm. and use it as kind of a checklist. Use it as a touchstone to go back to as you're focusing on these joint venture partners so that you know that you are getting a good match. Because sometimes when we want something really badly and one opportunity pops up, we're like, oh, I got to take that opportunity.
Yep.
When it might not be exactly right. Black energy. Yes, that's right. We do not want that. Mm-hmm. So it's just great to be able to take your list of clarity and just to take a moment rather than kind of in the moment of excitement when somebody says, hey, do you want to be my joint venture partner? Mm-hmm. That's exciting. You're like, oh, wow, somebody's reaching out to me. Cool. But, this list will help you take a moment and just say, okay, wait, let me check my list. Let me just get in this energy and see, what is the energy of this person? Do they have these characteristics that I want? Do they have enough of the characteristics that I want? Should I go ahead and say yes, or should I pass?
I love that. Thank you so much for helping us with that clarity. And I'm super interested in what you guys were getting clarity on. So you don't have to explain your contrasts or your comparisons, just what ones were you wanting more clarity on. I'd be very interested to see that. And if you're watching the replay, I always love to know too, and definitely tag your friends, share it out with anyone who you know needs more clarity in their life. So many of us are just feeling like stuck, or like they get something or they'll get a piece of something that they want, especially like relationships too. A lot of people are like, well, I really don't want this, and they focus on really not wanting that asshole partner, and they get the same guy, different face over and over.
Same person in different clothes.
Yeah, so this can be used across the board, so use it in whatever way that you want, and let us know what you were getting clarity on. I'm very interested in finding out more about that. And do you want to share with us how they can get in contact with you so that they can go deeper on this exercise and go beyond just the clarity stage?
Oh, absolutely. You can definitely friend me on Facebook. That's always a really good way and a really quick way to reach me. Send me a private message, or you can visit my website at cindytroast.com. I have a contact form there. You can always contact me that way as well.
Wonderful. That's amazing. And can you put that in the links right after so it's super convenient? They can just like hit their button.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Wonderful. And do you have any other exciting things going on? I think you wanted to share an opportunity with them.
Yeah, I'm doing quite a bit of emotion code work right now. So if you would like to know more about the emotion code, if you're maybe never have experienced it before, I am offering a free emotion code session. So again, just private message me on Facebook or contact me through my website, and we will get you set up for a free emotion code session.
Fantastic. I know I'm definitely taking advantage of that, guys. I want to go deeper into this and find out more. I always love to experience new things. So I'm so excited for when we do our session.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. And thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I encourage you to make this Love and Light show a weekly habit in your life, to bring more positivity and happiness and healing into your world. So it's always Monday at 12 Atlantic, 11 Eastern. And thank you so much, Cindy, for joining us, sharing your wisdom and all your experience, your beautiful story. Thanks for sharing everything that you're doing in the world.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I love connecting with amazing people. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Bye.